But when did you first come to Palm Springs?
The very first time that I came here on a weekend to visit with my manager. I had a manager in the 60s, and he had a home about 8 blocks from here on Vista Las Palmas, this area here, which is one of my favorite areas in Palm Springs. And I just came here to stay with him and his wife in 1963, 64, something like that. That was the very first time. And I must share this with you. In those days, I was real busy with my career, traveling all over the world and so on. And I came by here 2-3 weekends. And then on about the second or third time, my friends started saying to me, Mr. Lopez, were you on vacation somewhere? Were you on an island or something? I said, no. He said, well, you got such a nice tan and you look so relaxed. And I said, well, I was in Palm Springs. And they said, well, boy, you look great, this and that. So I started hearing that quite a bit, the times that I came by here on a weekend. So I said to myself, this must be a nice area for me to unwind and all that, So I started realizing that this is the place to come by and relax and just take it easy. It's so serene here, And so maybe I said to myself, maybe I should get me a house here. So I asked my manager, I said, his name was Bullets. They call him Bullets. His name was George Durgam was his name. And I said, maybe you can find me a place here. He said, well, I'll look around. And boy, within a couple of months, he found me this home here, about 8 blocks from his house. And I've had this house since then.
Wow, so you've owned this home since 1966?
Yes.
I bet you've seen a lot of changes in that time.
Yes, a lot. The main change in this area, Vista Las Palmas, and they call it Old Las Palmas too, is that the homes are getting, they're keeping them up nicer, and they're becoming more, real estate wise, they're becoming more expensive.
They're almost collectible.
Yes.
I see people are improving and trying to keep true to the old style.
Yes, and also, I don't know if a lot of people know this, but all these homes here are called Alexander homes.
Yes.
You know about that?
I'm very familiar with that.
Mr. Alexander in the 60s, late 50s maybe, started building all this area here. And now these homes are supposed to be almost like a collector's item.
Absolutely. Yeah. Are you familiar with the Alexander home, the flagship home?
Yes, the one where Elvis lived?
Yes, where Elvis had the honeymoon.
Yeah, Elvis was my friend.
Fantastic.
And he lived in this place about maybe 2-3 years. He got married and came and honeymoon here at this house. I've been to that home. It's beautiful. Yes, it's great.
Do you know the owner, Leonard?
No, because some gentleman from New York, I think, bought the place.
Yes.
And then he started renting it for parties and things.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know now if this guy is the same man who owns the place now. I don't know.
Yeah, I think he is. We were actually talking to him.
Oh, you were?
Yeah, because we wanted to try to get in and film it.
Oh, that'd be nice. Yeah, it's a great.
So
you haven't been there yet, have you?
No, have not.
It's a great place. The bedroom is all in the round, and a lot of the rooms are in the round. Yeah, real nice. Yeah.
Excellent. Now, do you remember anything in particular about that house when Elvis lived there?
Just the fact that a lot of the rooms are in the round, and it's a big, beautiful pool area. It's large, and it has a very nice view. I remember that. And it's just a very beautiful place, Oh, yeah, it's great.
Did you know the Alexanders?
No, I've never met them.
No.
I never met them. Never.
Do you recall a particular visit or a party that you would have attended when Elvis was in that home?
No, at the time that Elvis honeymooned with Priscilla, I didn't meet him for another 2-3 years. So by the time I met him, he was already gone from this house. So.
From that house. He was, I understand you had another house here in Palm Springs somewhere.
Yes, up in Little Tuscany.
Little Tuscany.
I've been to that home too. But that was after Elvis left too. Yeah. It's another nice house. That has a better view up there because he has a view of the city from the hills here.
Oh, how beautiful.
Oh, it's real nice. Oh, yeah.
Gorgeous.
But I used to party with Elvis at the penthouse at the presidential suite at the Hilton Hotel. But in those days it was called the Flamingo Hilton.
The Flamingo Hilton.
Yeah. That happened maybe like around 66. Then I used to go visit him, go see his shows, and he used to come see my shows.
Oh, yes, he was a regular.
Oh yeah, yeah. He used to come see me with Priscilla and his father and all the guys,
Oh,
all the
crew.
mafia guys.
Oh, funny.
Yeah.
That is fantastic. I read that Mr. Sinatra essentially discovered you when you were singing at PJ's,
Right.
and then signed you to your recording contract.
Right.
And
Right.
some films. What was it like in this area during that time when your career was starting?
It was very, very quiet, and it's still pretty quiet, but it was very, very, it wasn't as busy as it is now. The town was much, much smaller, of course. No big hotels, I remember.
Was the Riviera?
The Riviera was there. There was the biggest at that time. And there's one more, the Miramar.
Miramar.
The Biltmore Hotel. That's it. Those are the only ones. Those are the only ones that were here that were kind of big hotels. Can you believe it?
Yeah, that's pretty.
Yeah.
Compared to now.
Compared to now, and now with the casinos and the big hotels and all the stores and much more commerce here now.
Oh, interesting. Did you ever perform at the Riviera with Mr. Sinatra?
No. The only thing, I used to go to his home. He lived on, of course, Frank Sinatra Drive, and he used to cook for me, and his mother used to cook for me, and he used to show movies and things.
What was Mr. Sinatra's favorite thing to cook?
Oh, Italian food. Italian
Of
food,
course.
yeah, of course.
Lasagna?
No,
Pasta?
no, I would know it if I hear it.
Chicken?
No.
Veal?
Well, it was has to do with pasta.
Ooh.
Those little round things, honey, and they normally have something inside.
Oh,
Ravioli?
tortellini? Ravioli?
Ravioli.
Ravioli?
Ravioli and tortellini, you said? I
Tortellini?
think it was tortellini. Yeah.
Gnocchi? What about gnocchi?
Yeah.
The little
gnocchi,
dumplings?
yes,
the sauce?
little dumplings. There we go.
Now it's
Yes,
an art
yes,
form to
yes.
make those.
Yeah, he loved to eat that particular dish.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well,
Wow.
And she's starring in a play called Senior Class. Yeah. Senior Class. Have you heard of it?
No.
It's a play that they're doing in Palm Desert at a theater, honey. What's it called?
Palm d'Or.
Palm d'Or.
It's in the mall.
in the mall.
Oh, yeah, I wish I'd
Yeah.
known about it. We would try to catch it before.
Yeah,
we
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe it'll still be
This
playing
is
when
the
we come
second
back.
year, yes.
Oh yeah, it
And
might.
it goes until probably May.
Senior class. I'll have to check that out.
Yeah, it's a real nice play. I saw it. It's good.
Excellent.
Yeah.
All right.
Shall we go in there?
Okay.
That's what you want something to drink?
No,
you-
she didn't.
You don't want anything? You don't want
Yeah.
some water at least?
She had a big Coke before
Please,
we left.
come this way. Okay. All right. You want me to sit here, Mark?
that would be great.
Okay.
Right in the corner.
All right.
Hot shots.
Hot
Oh,
shots.
that's so funny.
Did you recognize the president?
Yeah.
There we go.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
That's something.
That is awesome. Okay, ready, babe?
Yeah, I'm rolling.
Okay.
That is
I'll
cool.
clean it.
Speaking.
Okay, I've arranged it so
Are you good?
that so that there was a mirror there, so I didn't want.
Oh,
but
yeah.
no,
Okay,
it's
so you
fine.
wanna
It's
see
it.
working
Okay?
great. It works
All right.
great.
Okay.
So speaking of high schools, I just have to ask you. I saw
Mhm.
that the Texas high school hot shots.
Yes.
You got your first guitar from your father,
My
who
father.
was also a musician, actor,
Yes.
dancer.
And dancer, uh-huh.
Fantastic. And you were how old? 11, 12?
I was about 11, 10, 11,
10, 11.
something like that, yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah. He taught me my first Spanish folk songs and all of that. And because of my dad, I got into show business.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
And now I see you are Mr. Trinidad Lopez 3. So
Uh-huh,
it'd be
the
your
third.
dad too, and then your grandfather.
Uh-huh. Yes,
Interesting.
yes. So my full name is Trinidad. So everybody called my dad Trinidad when he was older. So people are beginning to call me Trinidad now because I'm getting older now too. But when I was younger, everybody knows me as Trini.
Trini.
Right.
Excellent. We had also read that Dean Martin had described you as being one of his just very favorite singers.
Yeah.
And he also lived here in Palm Springs.
Yes, up down the street, about 2-3 blocks. Yeah.
What is your fondest memory of Mr. Martin?
One particular incident, my first picture that Frank Sinatra put me in was a movie called Marriage on the Rocks. It was a movie with Mr. Sinatra, Dean Martin, and Deborah Kerr, the English actress. She was in The King and I. Big actress from England.
Yes.
And then also Nancy Sinatra Jr. was in the movie. Also, in Marriage on the Rocks. Anyway, so we were getting ready to shoot. It was like 8 o'clock in the morning, and I was half asleep, you know, but everybody's already in their tuxedos and everything because we were doing a nightclub scene at 8 in the morning, and I was supposed to do my cameo. I sang a song that I helped write in the movie, a song called Sinner Man. But anyway, so Dean and I were talking, and they're getting ready to start. The cameras rolling and everything, and I just happened to say to Dean, I said, Dean, I love your bow ties. I like the way you fix them. He said, oh, really? I said, yeah. I said, they're great. He said, oh. So he takes it off and hands it to me. And I said, oh, no, wait a minute. I said, I didn't compliment you because I wanted to have your bow tie. I said, but no, please. I said, oh, no, take it. I said, no. He says, take it. It's yours. I said, okay. He was real nice. He was very down to earth.
Was he?
Mm-hmm. Very much so. He wasn't as uptight as Sinatra was.
Yeah.
Sinatra was a little more reserved.
More serious.
More serious. Yeah. Dean was more, everybody love somebody sometime.
Much more fun-loving.
Yeah, much more fun-loving. There we go. That's it.
Now, in that group of Mr. Sinatra and Mr. Martin, also did you know Peter Lawford?
Yes. He lived half a block from here.
Oh, fantastic.
Right here, yeah. This house, I got to tell you a little bit about that house. It's on the corner of Las Palmas and Monte Vista, right there. It's about a block from here, maybe 2 blocks. And that house, when Peter Lawford lived in this house, Senator Kennedy used to rendezvous there with Marilyn Monroe before he became president. Yeah.
Interesting.
They used to have all kinds of parties. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Wow.
And Sinatra used to go to parties there also, and who knows who else, you know.
Oh, my
all kinds of
goodness.
people.
How
It's a
interesting.
real nice house. They just got through selling it to somebody.
Wow.
It was for sale for a while. Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah. I'm sure they sold it for a pretty penny.
With that pedigree,
Mhm.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Understandable.
Yes.
Is there anything about Peter Lawford that stands out in your mind?
He was real nice too. He was a very nice, cool guy, you know. And we used to have I should have a picture of him and I. I have a lot of pictures with Peter Lawford, but they're in my other big office. He was very, very smooth.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he was a cool guy.
Yeah, very charming.
Very, very handsome.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, very handsome. I knew him at the time when he was married to, I think it was Pat Kennedy. I think it was Pat, and I got to know them too.
The Kennedys.
Mm-hmm. They were all big fans of mine too. JFK and Bobby and Teddy and all the sisters
letters
and the mother. Yeah.
Yeah. When the Kennedys would come to town, would they typically rent a home or stay with friends?
I hear that they would stay a lot
Downtown?
with friends here. A lot. And at the time when Sinatra was still talking to Peter Lawford, they used to have a lot of parties there, and they used to stay there a lot too.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah. But then they had a falling out, and that's later, you know, after he bought this house. So they didn't talk anymore after the falling out regarding President Kennedy coming to Palm Springs to stay here for a weekend or something.
Mm.
So he ended up staying at Bing Crosby's house here. He also had a home here, and Sinatra didn't like that at all. Oh, he was.
The competition was a little too close.
Yeah,
Huh?
well, even though interesting because Sinatra loved Bing Crosby. A lot of people don't know this, but Bing Crosby was Sinatra's idol.
Wow.
He copied him with a hat and the whole bit. See, Bing Crosby started that.
Sure.
You know.
Sure.
Yeah. So Mr. Crosby was ba-ba-ba-ba-boom, used to go something like that.
Oh, yeah.
And Sinatra was ring-a-ding-ding.
I never thought of that.
Yeah, oh yeah. But
Oh,
with a
that's-
hat and the whole thing, you know. Oh yeah.
That's so
Mhm.
funny.
But anyway, so when President Kennedy came to stay here with Mr. Crosby, Sinatra's ego, you know, got the best of him.
Yeah, I got
Yeah.
a little bruised.
Right. Right.
Of the Kennedy brothers, you met both John and Robert?
And Teddy.
And Teddy.
And went to their homes.
Did you prefer
McLean,
one over-
Virginia. No, I didn't perform. Well, I performed for the mother, Mrs. Rose Kennedy. I did a big show for her in Chicago. That's where that picture was taken, over here on the wall. Yeah.
Of the three Kennedy brothers, did you have a favorite brother?
Teddy seems to be, excuse me, Teddy seemed to be more relaxed than the two, than Bobby and excuse me, than Bobby and President Kennedy. Yeah.
A little more mellow.
Yeah, a little more, a little more loose. Yeah, yeah.
And Mr. Sonny Bono also was a longtime resident of Palm Springs and mayor.
Right.
Were you friends with him?
Yes, he was my tennis buddy.
Oh, fantastic.
We used to play tennis a lot. One time at the Riviera, because you spoke to me about the Riviera a while ago. One time, he had the Sonny Bono celebrity golf tournament, and I beat him center court, and he didn't like it. He didn't like it at all. But he was a real nice guy. I liked him.
Aside from being a bad loser, huh?
Yeah. Right. He had a restaurant here that I went to a couple of times, and it was his mother's recipe that they used for the dishes.
I remember that. We dined there, actually.
Oh, you did?
Also, yeah,
Oh.
when he was still alive.
Yeah, he was real nice. He loved tennis. He was a good tennis player.
Yeah, he really seemed to enjoy the whole culture of living in the desert.
Oh yeah, he used to run around downtown Palm Springs in his bicycle.
Oh my goodness.
Can you believe it?
Wow.
In his bicycle. And he liked to talk to people. You could tell he liked to be noticed,
Yeah.
recognized.
He wanted to get out and meet people.
Yeah.
Excellent. Do you remember any particular parties or memorable events at Sonny Bono's house that stand out?
At Sonny's? There was one real big party one time for Sophia Loren. And Sonny invited me. And it was a very nice affair. It was mainly outside of the house. He had like a big entryway, but a lot of land. And we ended up. He said, "Trini," said, "Would you sing If I Had a Hammer?" And they had a little band in the back. I said, "Yeah." So he came and joined me, and we sang it together.
Oh, cool.
And that was nice. Everybody enjoyed it. I remember. Yeah, he was a very interesting guy. He was a sharp guy. He's the one that started. A lot of people don't know this. He's the one that named a lot of the streets. Instead of Palm Canyon, he called it for example, Tockwitz Way, Palm Canyon Way, like that. He named a lot of streets.
Oh.
Instead of just Palm Canyon.
Right.
He says Palm Canyon Way. And just a lot of different things he did. Of course, he started the film festival here in Palm Springs. Yeah, and that's become international, they say.
It has. It's getting bigger and bigger every year.
Yeah. And Sonny started that. Yeah. He was a sharp guy. He wrote some good songs.
Yeah,
he wrote good songs too.
Seemed to be a shrewd businessman.
Yes, and they say because of him, Sonny and Cher were so famous.
Oh, of course.
But he was the manager.
The business brains behind them.
He was the main ingredient, for that group.
Oh,
yeah, he was a smart guy. Yes, he was.
interesting.
Yeah.
Bob Hope. Obviously, Mr. Hope, a very big celebrity that lived out
One of
in
the
the
biggest.
desert. Were you familiar with him?
Oh yeah, we used to tour together. We did a lot of shows together. Did a lot of benefit shows also with him. Been to his home. He had a home here. There's an area across from Palm Canyon. On my side, this is west, but on the east side of Palm Canyon, or north side, no, east, yeah. He had a real nice home, and he had a lot of parties there, and I used to sing up there with him and Dolores. And then he got this big house on South Ridge. You know what that is?
Yes.
The house that looks like a big, like a space thing.
The rounded shape.
like a disc.
Yeah.
And a lot of parties there. And he was a real nice guy. he loved to entertain, and we did a lot of shows with him too. I did his show on TV. One of my big shows, one of the first big shows I did, network, was the Bob Hope show. And then I got to travel with him also.
Did you go overseas and do the U.S.
No,
shows with
I
him?
couldn't. I never had the time.
Just all local.
Just, well, local
Here.
in the United States,
United States.
United States. But I never went to any of the USO tours. I was too busy myself. I had to turn him down.
Yeah, too busy making those records.
Too busy and traveling.
And traveling.
Oh yeah.
Performing.
I've been all over the world and done so many tours, and I performed like 20 years without really stopping.
My goodness.
Yeah.
What was your favorite venue of all the places that you've been? If you had to pick, say, three, your top three favorite
Okay,
places.
Paris I love, London I love, and Monte Carlo, which is the south of France. I like that too. It's very, very, very beautiful and very quaint. Is the word.
Small and
But beautiful. The Paris, the Hotel de Paris in Monte Carlo is beautiful. The gambling casino where they did the movie Casino Royale.
Oh yes, the Bond movie.
Yes, the Bond movies. Yeah, it's a beautiful place. And Princess Grace was my friend, and Prince Rainier, and I used to visit them at the palace, and we had great times, great dinners and parties, and all of that.
Oh, wonderful. Now you had mentioned Paris. I had read somewhere that you worked with the Beatles for about a month in Paris, performing at the Olympia.
A whole
Theater.
month, yeah.
What was that like?
Great. Oh, talk about fun. And all the kids going crazy for them. They like me too, but but they were really catching on with her. All that hair looked like
the long hair.
Yeah, the mop on the top of their heads. And they were really, really nice. I had a real nice time with them.
That was quite a grueling schedule. Was it like
Two
shows a night,
and
six nights a week?
and
or?
3 on Saturday.
My goodness.
3 on Saturday matinee. Yeah.
Did you have a favorite Beatle out of the Beatles?
George was the quietest of all of them, and I liked him because he was more, he wasn't as boisterous and all that.
Yeah, more soft spoken.
More soft spoken.
Yeah, seemed very gentle.
Yes, yes. They call him the quiet Beatle.
And did the Beatles ever come to Palm Springs? Ever visit Palm Springs?
No, I never heard of them coming to Palm Springs. No, but some of the celebrities that you may like to know, that I've always been around here. Steve McQueen lived in Southridge,
Oh yes.
where Bob Hope. Steve used to love to come down on his motorcycle. I used to see him once in a while. And let's see who else. Elvis, Bob Hope, Sinatra, Bing Crosby, Peter Lawford. My neighbors here for a while, and I think they've gone on. They've passed on. Mary Martin lived down the street here. They say that Kenny Rogers also had a place in this area. And there's so many, and more are coming in.
Yeah.
More are moving in. And the latest is not a rumor because it's already coming out in print about Brad Pitt.
Oh yes,
and
wanting to build a development here.
Yes, and George Clooney with Brad Pitt. They have a business venture going, and they're gonna, and who else? Diane Keaton. Yeah, she has a place here.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah.
In Las Palmas.
Well,
area.
if you keep on going this way, there's a big kind of a mountain on the very top,
Oh, my
overlooking the first golf course in the Coachella Valley. It's called O'Donnell Country Club, and I've had a hole in one there myself.
Oh, how lucky.
Yeah, and it's a beautiful place. They say that in the days of in the 40s and 50s, President Eisenhower used to play golf there, and his caddy was Robert Wagner.
Oh my goodness. Oh, is that funny?
Yeah, and it's it's only a 9-hole golf course, but it's very unique. It's very nice. Very, very nice.
A good memorable spot to get a hole in one.
Yeah, oh yeah. And right across the street, my friend Liberace lived. Have you seen his place?
No, we have not.
He has a big candelabra in front.
Oh,
You
of
can't miss it.
course.
Yeah, and at night, it lights.
It's lit up.
It's lit up. Real nice. And he was a nice guy.
Wonderful.
I used to party with him a lot in Las Vegas, Every time that I worked Las Vegas, he was always in Las Vegas. So was Elvis. So he always had parties, and he would invite all the stars from the Strip to come in at a hotel, at a hotel, at a big ballroom and stuff, because there's so many people. He was a very, very nice person. Yeah.
And did you have any particular story or moment with Liberace?
With Liberace, no. Just the fact that he had a lot of parties, and he was very, very. He was a very classy guy, and he was very friendly.
Yeah. Was he as flamboyant with his friends as he was in his public
Yeah, his
persona?
clothes,
Very,
his clothes.
dressing,
Oh yeah,
delivery.
oh yeah.
Yeah. So that wasn't an act. That was really
That was
who
him.
he was.
That was him. Hmm. But he was very, very sincere, and I thought he was a very nice man. Yeah.
Mr. Lopez, what advice would you offer to someone considering a career in music now?
As far as how to succeed?
Exactly.
Well,
What have you learned from your many years in the entertainment industry that you'd pass on? What pearls of wisdom?
well, the main thing that I always used to hear, you have to work hard. You cannot be like a daisical. You have to really concentrate and focus on what you want to achieve. And you have to embed it in your brain at a young age.
That you'll succeed in your work.
What you want to do, for example. And for me, when I was very young, I wanted to be a singer. I never fathomed that I would one day be known not only in America but all over the world. I never even dreamed of that. But I did put in my mind that I wanted to be a famous singer. But I don't know how famous. I didn't know that. I had no inkling,
And did you start thinking that at 10 or 11 when you got your first guitar?
Yeah, 9.
9.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I did. I wanted to be a singer.
And you just never stopped working.
No, I kind of semi-retired in 1981, but I still do a show here and there.
Now, I understand you're working on another album now?
Yes, my 61st.
Your 61st.
My 61st CD. So I'm really excited about that.
Oh, that is very exciting.
Yeah.
So you're writing new songs? Are you going to do any covers?
Mainly other covers, because we want to do a real rock and roll, all-American rock and roll
Fantastic.
album. So we may have an original in there somewhere, but mainly songs that were famous in the 50s and 60s, and I want to bring them back.
That era. Yeah.
Like I did, I brought back Lemon Tree,
Mm-hmm.
and I brought back If I Had a Hammer,
Yeah, those are classics.
Kansas City,
Yeah.
Michael Rowe, You Bought a Shore. You
Can't
know.
go wrong with the standards.
Yeah.
Classic for a reason.
Yes,
And your
yes.
voice is just so beautiful.
Thank you, thank you,
And smooth.
thank you.
Mark, do you have any other things?
Let's see. Well, since Palm Springs is a creative center, there's a lot of energy here. I'm wondering, do you sometimes feel the creative energy and of those days gone by? I mean, is the past still alive in Palm Springs?
Mm-hmm.
And perhaps have there been? I mean, have you felt that? In
Very
certain-
much so.
certain
Very much so.
situations?
Yes. There's so much history in Palm Springs. You can't help it. Everywhere you go, somebody will say something about Frank Sinatra or about his home. He had a compound, very nice place. And he told me, I said, one night we had dinner, and then he was going to show us a movie. And I said, you must have gotten this place for practically nothing, huh? He said, oh, Trini, he says, I got it for a song, he said. I said, But what he did, he was smart. He kept buying neighbors' homes that were adjacent to
All
his.
around him as they came for sale.
And then he made it into a compound.
Right.
He
Now
made it
you-
into a
Are you
compound.
talking about the Twin Palms?
The one, Frank Sinatra Drive, by Duval there.
Mm-hmm.
You seen his home?
I think so.
It's got a gate. You can't really see it unless you go in, but you can more or less see
You can
it.
see it from the outside.
Yeah, you can see the tennis courts that he built for Barbara. She liked
To play tennis.
to play tennis.
Yeah, I think that's the famous home with the two palms in the front. Is that Twin Palms?
I don't remember about that. I don't remember about that. But it's a big place because he made all those places into cabanas.
Right.
And any time that anybody famous came to his house,
Right, they
he
stayed in
put
the
a little
cabana.
plaque and it said, Bob Hope stayed here.
Oh, how fun.
Elizabeth Taylor stayed here, like that. You know, yeah. And so, getting back to your question, it's like an aura about Palm Springs. You know, it's a magic thing. It's a magical thing. And more younger stars are now are going to be moving here, and are moving here. So I don't know what it is. It's a lot of people tell me also, by the way, that when they leave Palm Springs, they, somehow eventually they all come back. Something draws them back. Something draws them back. They'll go away 4, 5, 6 years. I run into a lot of people that tell me, "Well, Trini, I'm back." Disc jockeys, regular people, business people, whatever, even retired people, they come back. You know, and I love Palm Springs from the very first time I came. Something about the mountains. They say that the mountains really give you a lot of energy, and it's a magical thing. And I always enjoyed being here. You know, it makes me relax here more. The traffic is getting a little more busier than ever, but it's still no comparison to Los Angeles.
No, very different.
Very different.
Yeah.
In Los Angeles, everything is bumper to bumper.
Yeah.
Now, you know, you can go anywhere, any hour, and it's bumper to bumper.
Yeah.
But here, you know, it's great. You can get anywhere, to any location, destination in 10, 15, 20 minutes, 25 minutes at the most, you know. So it's really, really nice to live here.
Well, I guess the final question would be, I think we've probably taken more than enough
That's
of your
okay,
time.
that's okay.
The final question would be, could you just hold your signature guitar and maybe say a few words about it? Beautiful,
Okay.
classic guitar.
Sure, if you don't mind handing it to me.
Absolutely. No,
Okay.
I'll be careful with
Okay.
it is.
Thank you.
Now, are they planning to reissue that?
Yeah, they're planning to, Gibson Corporation,
Uh-huh.
out of Chicago. When I first made my deal with them, they were in Chicago. Now they're in. Now their manufacturing company is in Nashville, Tennessee, and they told me that they're getting a lot of requests to buy the guitar, and all of the young rock and roll guitar players like the Foo Fighters, David
Dave
Grohl,
Grohl,
he
yes.
plays it, and the guitar player for Paul McCartney plays my guitar. Sting, his guitar player, also plays this guitar. My guitar, I wouldn't say my guitar is popular, but they keep stealing my name from the guitar. My name is right here. It says designed by Trini Lopez. Twice they've stolen my emblem,
My goodness.
the emblem to it. Yeah, you believe that? This is electric guitar. It's an electric guitar. So with an amplifier, it's real nice.
Even unplugged. The
Even
tone,
unplugged.
It sounds beautiful.
Yeah.
Quality.
It's not tuned too good right now. But it's a beautiful guitar. I've had it since 1967, and they're very rare now. They cost a lot of money.
One thing that the new kids like about it is the keys are all on the same side,
Mhm.
and therefore they're strung the same way.
Oh,
The twist is the same way, and all the strings, not strings on the road.
makes sense. Much more efficient design.
Hmm
Sound.
With the amplifier, it's great. You know, it's not meant to be played like
Can we
this.
put that back for you?
Oh, thank you.
Okay.
Thank
well,
you.
I think that'll